want to thank Mariana and Meg both for having us here today, and also really for being trailblazers when it comes to putting on a virtual conference. I think to echo Mariana's comments, it's really wonderful to be able to offer this to folks so that they don't have to travel in and be in person in the conference. And yeah, I think it's a really great trend to start setting. So as Mariana mentioned, I am going to talk about DOE's multifamily suite of tools and resources that we have been developing over the past couple of years, really to help multifamily building owners, investors, and project managers identify and execute quality retrofits that will create lasting energy and cost savings, and also assist with the energy affordability and comfort for the low-income families that we serve and those who live in multifamily buildings. For the Weatherization Assistance Program, this has been particularly important since we have weatherized nearly 300,000 units of multifamily housing over the past 3 years alone. So everyone who's worked on a multifamily building knows that the process can be a little complicated and complex. Over time, the folks that work in the Weatherization Assistance Program have developed a multifamily energy upgrade process that takes a project all the way from building selection through to post-construction monitoring and tracking. This S-curve that we have put together really is a great way to try to help define the process. The tools and resources I'm talking about today are really intended to try to help take what can be a convoluted and complex process and break it down into manageable pieces. And really, even though we developed all these tools and resources in weatherization, the intent is that they could be used for anybody who's working on a multifamily energy upgrade. And one thing that I think is important to mention is that this process is constantly evolving and improving. So to help with the multifamily energy upgrade process, we have developed a whole cadre of tools and resources. And the first one that I'm going to talk about is the standard work specifications. So the standard work specifications for multifamily energy upgrades was really the first enterprise undertaken by the Weatherization Assistance Program to help standardize and assemble all in one place the program's approach to multifamily energy upgrades. What the SWSs are is a detailed and comprehensive catalog of energy efficiency upgrade measures containing the minimal technical specifications required for those measures to achieve their intended outcomes. So what the standard work specifications do is they really help define the work. What does a quality energy efficiency installation look like when it's done right? If retrofit measures are not installed to the level of quality necessary to achieve their intended function, the energy savings could be much lower than expected. In our program, we have trainers, program managers, technical staff, and field staff that are constantly providing the Department of Energy with feedback on what's working in the program and what needs to be improved. And really, the standard work specifications are really a product of that constant feedback loop. The process itself was consensus-based and really included multiple layers of review. We engaged more than 400 subject matter experts and have received more than 2,000 public comments on the SWSs. And with this, DOE and NREL developed the standard work specifications in partnership with the Weatherization Network, the Greater Home Performance Industry, the Association for Energy Affordability, who's a WAP training provider, was our market lead on the development of the standard work specifications. And we also had federal partners involved, HUD, USDA, and EPA, really with the intent that they can be used for anyone who's performing an energy upgrade. So whether you conduct comprehensive, whole building energy upgrades, or really only use select energy efficiency measures in your program, using the standard work specifications as a minimum standard for work quality in your program will help facilitate consistent work quality, ease that burden that happens with contractors, and allow the programs to measure success against a nationally recognized benchmark. Standard work specifications are updated regularly. We actually just held a maintenance committee meeting at the Affordable Comfort Conference that was held in Detroit in April, really, again, with the intent that we are constantly moving with the market and they will constantly be improved. Jaime is going to talk about how Austin Energy has integrated the standard work specifications into the program. And really, I think, adopting this nationally recognized benchmark is, a demonstration of leadership and action. And they provide, again, anyone who's performing an energy upgrade with the means to perform that upgrade with the only nationally recognized resource that focuses specifically on work quality and residential retrofits. To help our program integrate the standard work specifications into the daily operations of weatherization, DOE and NREL have created an online tool to help assist the network. The online tool is a user-friendly database holding all the standard work specifications. We've developed them for multifamily buildings as well as for manufactured housing and single-family homes. The tool can be used to develop resources that are used in field operations, such as field guides and standards, quality control checklists, work orders, and the like. Another functionality that's built into this tool is the ability to create before and after photos, which is the slide that you're looking at right now, that lists the objectives of the measures, its specifications, and any tools that might be needed to actually execute that energy efficiency job. You can also use the tool to create step-by-step instructions. So once we know, or once we knew what the work is as defined by the standard work specifications, we partnered with industry leaders again to figure out what a worker needs to know in order to do their job right, and that is where the job task analysis come in. So what a job task analysis is, it's a formal way to analyze and document what a worker needs to know and need to be able to do in order to perform their job effectively. And one of the challenges, I think, with job task analyses or with certifications is creating something that can be used on a national basis. So the multifamily JTAs, in our mind, are really helping to define multifamily buildings as their own building type and really help to give structure to the folks that work on those buildings. And really, I think the job task analyses will help facilitate a growing workforce that has been targeted on multifamily energy upgrades, and really to try to help meet that increasing demand for the work while maintaining quality assurance for homeowners and employers. So the job task analyses that we developed for multifamily buildings are multifamily energy auditor, building operator, retrofit project manager, and quality control inspector. These job task analyses are being used as a basis for the accreditation of weatherization training centers and other training programs nationwide by the Interstate Renewable Energy Council, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a moment. In addition to the training programs, the job task analyses can be used as a basis for credentialing of workers, as well as for the development of building standards. Since 2010, the Department of Energy has invested over $1 billion in training and technical assistance, to help the weatherization network. And the tools that I'm talking about today and the service delivery mechanisms on the ground really are the result or the fruit of that investment. The Department of Energy, the Weatherization Assistance Program, offers full-service training centers nationwide. These are training centers that provide professional trainings to folks that operate buildings, to energy auditors, to quality control inspectors, to installers, to project managers, everybody that's working on a retrofit of a multifamily building. And really by having folks go through quality training, it's a way to help ensure that the people making choices and decisions and installing measures on building are properly trained to deal with multifamily properties. So our training centers have both a national reach as well as local. So this slide is just demonstrating training centers that are located in a certain locality but have the ability to travel and work with other areas. And then we also have training centers that are really focused on their immediate area and state and local needs. We commissioned for the Interstate Renewable Energy Council, who has been working on the accreditation of renewable energy training, solar training, for well over 30 years, to accredit energy efficiency training programs for the Weatherization Assistance Program. IREC has a standard that's called the Institute for Sustainable Power Standard, which is internationally recognized for accreditation of both renewable energy and energy efficiency programs. In January, IREC accepted the 4 job task analyses as resources to assess training providers for accreditation, as well as multifamily training instructors for certification. Because obtaining an accreditation from IREC is a rigorous and intensive process, because you're meeting a pretty rigorous benchmark, there is currently no accredited multifamily training programs available, although we know that there's many training centers that are working on it. In the interim, we have all of these training centers that you see on this slide in front of you who are accredited for the single-family job task analyses, and these single-family training programs can apply to multifamily buildings without shared building systems. So the standard work specifications and the job task analyses are part of this greater project called the Guidelines for Home Energy Professionals. There really has been this partnership between the Department of Energy and the home performance industry that defines the work, validates the training, and certifies the workers. The intended goal with all of this is really to try to help provide confidence that investments made in multifamily energy upgrades deliver their intended savings and performance. So to recap, we have the standard work specifications, which help define the work, and the minimum requirements for high-quality, safe, energy efficiency installations. We have the job task analyses, which are being used as the basis for training program accreditation. And we also have home energy professional certifications. The Guidelines Project developed certifications that have been accredited by the American National Standards Institute for the 4 single-family job task analyses, which include retrofit installer, technician, crew leader, energy auditor, and quality control inspector. And for the Weatherization Assistance Program, we are actually requiring our network over an implementation time frame to ensure that all of our quality control inspectors are certified with these 4, or with the Home Energy Professional Quality Control Inspector certification. What I think this means to all of you is that by verifying the quality of the work and the quality of the workforce who perform multifamily energy upgrades, feel confident knowing that their installations meet national standards and that all of these measures are performing as they were intended. So in summary, on the slide demonstrating I swear I didn't touch anything. Keep my hands away.
You're okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. I wasn't on camera before. Okay. So this is a summary slide talking about all of the resources that are available now and the websites where you can access all of these resources. So the standard work specifications for multifamily energy upgrades. It wants me to be double cameraed, and I think one camera is more than enough. The multifamily job task analyses, which are being used as a basis for training program accreditation and certification. The home energy professional certifications that are currently available for single-family energy efficiency workers. The weatherization training centers and where you can find a training center near you, and then also where you can find information specifically about multifamily training. We have a number of resources that are coming soon. The first is we are developing a multifamily tool for energy audits. We convened a series of feedback sessions with multifamily energy audit methods experts as well as energy audit users from around the country. And I think anybody who's listening today who is a multifamily energy auditor knows that multifamily building energy auditing, when you're actually out in the field, can be as much art as it is science. So practitioners in the field developed a long list of improvements that they would like to see in a new multifamily energy audit tool. This includes addressing low-rise as well as high-rise multifamily buildings with multiple thermal zones, handling both dwelling and in-unit domestic hot water systems, and allowing model calibration to actual utility bills using actual weather conditions. A major innovation that's planned for the tool is that building energy use can be calibrated against historical weather data that prevailed during that utility billing period. So the actual weather data will be used to true up the building energy simulations, which negates the need to perform normalization of utility bills and compare them to model results. Multi will be a part of our Weatherization Assistant suite of energy audit tools that includes audit tools for single family as well as mobile homes. With Multi, we're also releasing a health and safety audit tool that can be used in tandem with a regular energy audit. And through the development of the tool, we also have an API, an application programming interface, which allows third-party proprietary tools to access the back-end calculation engine through Multi and have that functionality for their availability. The second resource that we have coming out shortly are the technical guidelines for multifamily building energy audits. And so in looking at the multifamily energy upgrades and that, that S-curve that I started off with at the beginning, one element that Weatherization recognized as lacking from a technical perspective is a systematic approach to data gathering and methodology for energy auditing. So we commissioned Oak Ridge National Laboratory to develop these technical guidelines really to ensure uniformity in energy audit methods and really to try to help with more accurate predictions of energy and cost savings. They will be used to provide both audit procedural and technical guidance to perform an audit. Will include things as, how many units should you be sampling when you're performing an energy audit, and really they're intended for a wide range of audience with a, with a pretty solid focus on, folks that are technically out doing this in the field, but they will be a resource for anybody to use. The third resource that we have available coming soon is from those 4 job task analyses that I mentioned we developed for multifamily buildings. We have brought together subject matter experts from around the country to develop scheme committees, which Jaime participated in, for multifamily quality control inspector as well as multifamily project or program manager. And these will be used as the basis for home energy professional certification. Finally, we developed the multifamily quality control inspector job task analyses to cover professionals who work in multifamily buildings of all shapes and sizes, from low-rise all the way up to high-rise commercial. The multifamily JTA may be a lot to expect for somebody who really focuses on single-family homes, but also does work on low-rise multifamily buildings. And in this time of shrinking training and technical assistance dollars, it's really a huge investment, for folks to take training in order to get certified. And so we decided to create a DACM chart, which stands for Develop a Curriculum. It's almost kind of like a mini job task analysis, although some folks' heads might be spinning right now about the terminology. But really, the DACM chart for a single-family quality control inspector who also works in low-rise attached unit. And really, the DACM, the intent is that this DACM chart will be a resource for training and workforce development, and it's intended as an enhancement to somebody who already has the single-family home energy professional quality control inspector certification. So the expectation is that somebody would start off as a single-family quality control inspector as a baseline, and then take training based on this small, low-rise multifamily DACM in order to really make sure that they are focused and ready to make that leap to perform inspections in low-rise buildings. All of these resources are coming soon, and they will be available in the early fall. In closing, I wanted to just mention that all of the work that we do in weatherization is really based on a couple of core principles. By defining the work, validating the training, and certifying the worker, we're trying to provide confidence that investments made in energy upgrades really deliver their intended savings and intended performance. And really with all of the federal dollars that have gone into the development of these resources, making sure that those investments are being made in a way that is meeting nationally recognized standards. All of these resources were developed under the Guidelines for Home Energy Professionals moniker, and really our intent is to try to help change the landscape of how energy upgrades are performed and really help ensure their quality. So, our process is based on the principle of, selecting correct improvements for the individual building to maximize energy savings, ensure occupant health and comfort, which is doing the right things, and then ensure that those improvements are installed by qualified contractors according to nationally accepted standards, doing things right, or another way to think about it is do the right things right. Really these principles help enhance a home or a building through an energy upgrade process that leads to maximized energy savings, improved comfort, and healthier, happier occupants. Really what we're trying to do is ensure healthier places for folks to live and thrive. My final slide is some testimonials about how these resources are being used. And rather than have me read them to you, why don't we bring Jaime up here and he can talk about how he's using some of these resources and on Austin Energy's multifamily energy rebate program.